Months passed since the fateful day Adama helped the mermaid return to the river. Life in the village had returned to normal, yet Adama felt an emptiness she couldn't quite explain. Each day, as she went about her chores, her thoughts often drifted back to the shimmering creature she had carried home. The way the mermaid's eyes pleaded for help and the unspoken gratitude that lingered as she vanished beneath the waves. The river was no longer just a source of water for Adama. It had become a place of reflection and longing. Every morning she found herself pausing by its edge, watching the ripples dance in the sunlight, hoping for some sign of the mermaid's return. But the river remained silent, its surface revealing nothing. Then on a quiet evening when the sky blazed with hues of orange and pink, something extraordinary happened. As Adama sat by the riverbank lost in thought, a faint melody reached her ears. It was haunting and beautiful, a song carried by the breeze. She stood, her heart racing, and scanned the water. At first there was nothing, only the calm, rhythmic flow of the river. But then a shimmer appeared. A glint of silver that broke the surface. "Adama," a soft voice called. Adama's breath caught in her throat. The voice was familiar, though she had only heard it once before. She turned to see the mermaid, her head and shoulders rising gracefully from the water. Her dark hair clung to her face, and her blue eyes sparkled like the river under the moonlight. "You came back," Adama whispered, her voice trembling with disbelief and joy. The mermaid smiled, her expression warm but tinged with sorrow. "I had to," she said, her voice melodic and clear now. "I owe you more than you know." Adama knelt by the water's edge, her heart pounding. "Why are you here? Is something wrong?" The mermaid's gaze softened. "No. The river is at peace, thanks to your kindness. But I couldn't forget you, Adama. Your compassion saved me, and it has left a mark on my heart." Adama's eyes filled with tears. She hadn't realized how much she had longed to see the mermaid again until this moment. "I thought about you every day," she admitted, her voice breaking. "I didn't know if you were safe or if I'd ever see you again." The mermaid reached out, her hand barely touching the water's surface. "I am safe because of you. But I came back because I felt your longing, your questions. There is something I must share with you." Adama leaned closer, her curiosity piqued. "What is it?" The mermaid took a deep breath, her expression growing serious. "When you helped me, you did more than save my life. You saved the river itself. I am not just a creature of the water, Adama. I am its guardian, its spirit. Without me, the river would wither, and the land around it would die." Adama's eyes widened in shock. "I had no idea. I was just trying to help." The mermaid smiled gently. "That is the beauty of your heart. You acted without knowing, driven only by compassion. That is why I was drawn to you." For a moment neither spoke, the weight of the revelation settling between them. The river's soft murmurs filled the silence. "Why are you telling me this now?" Adama asked finally, her voice barely above a whisper. The mermaid's gaze shifted to the horizon, where the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the land. "Because I must ask something of you. The river's bond with the village is sacred, but it has been strained. The people have forgotten its importance, treating it as a tool rather than a living force. I need someone to remind them to protect the balance." Adama's chest tightened. "You want me to do that?" The mermaid nodded. "You already have the heart for it. The river chose you, Adama. It guided you to me that day." Tears spilled down Adama's cheeks. The weight of the mermaid's words pressed on her, both a burden and a blessing. She thought of her father, her neighbors, the children who played by the river's edge. She thought of their laughter, their struggles, and their dependence on the water that gave them life. "I'll do it," she said finally, her voice steady despite the tears. "I'll do whatever I can to protect the river." The mermaid's eyes glistened with emotion. "Thank you, Adama. Your courage humbles me." They sat together as the sun set, the sky painted in brilliant shades of crimson and gold. Adama felt a strange mix of sadness and purpose. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew her life had changed irrevocably. As the first stars began to twinkle in the sky, the mermaid turned to Adama one last time. "I cannot stay long. The river calls me back. But I will always be here watching, guiding. You are never alone." Adama reached out, her fingers grazing the mermaid's hand. "Thank you for trusting me." The mermaid smiled, her expression filled with a warmth that seemed to light up the darkness. Then, with a final graceful dive, she disappeared into the water, leaving only ripples behind. In the weeks that followed, Adama dedicated herself to the mermaid's mission. She began by gathering the villagers, sharing stories of the river's guardian and the balance it maintained. At first, some were skeptical, dismissing her words as fanciful tales. But Adama's passion and sincerity won them over. Slowly, the village began to change. The children were taught to respect the river, learning songs and rituals that celebrated its life-giving power. The elders shared their wisdom, reviving old traditions that had been forgotten. Together, they worked to keep the river clean, ensuring its waters remained pure and vibrant. Adama became a figure of inspiration, her bond with the river, a symbol of hope and unity. And though she never spoke of the mermaid's visit, she carried the memory in her heart, a source of strength and purpose. Years later, as Adama stood by the river with her own children, she thought of the shimmering figure who had changed her life. The river flowed as strong as ever, its waters a lifeline for the village and a reminder of the spirit that dwelled within it. And sometimes, when the moon was full and the world was quiet, Adama would hear a faint melody on the breeze, a song she would never forget. It was the mermaid's gift, a reminder of the bond they shared and the promise they had made to protect the river, together and forever. Thank you for watching. Remember, some stories never end, they live on in us.